So the fact that so this is worksheet assignment number one, and this is problem number three. The fact that it starts with a three is great news because that means that, oh, nope, I'm looking at the wrong problem. The fact that it starts with a five, my bad, is still good news. What does that mean for us? There's only one, correct. And so we don't have to wonder if we're putting numbers into the right template because there's only one template. What are the signs going to be? In the order that we put them in at this point is a big fat mystery. So that's the Mr. Ahern side of it, is like I can guide you to that and teach you that, okay, we need it to look like this. And then the Kenna part of it is, okay, now you got to look at your sheet and think of all the numbers that multiply to make 32. I would think that most commonly you're probably going to start with 8 and 4. If we try 8 and 4 and 4 and 8 and it doesn't work, then we'll move to 16 and 2, right? But yeah, you're smart to start with the closest ones. And so um, the better you get at factoring, the more you realize that doing this is a bad move. And you learn this through experience because if you put the 8 over there, it powers it up. You, you should. And because what you don't want is you don't want the 8 far across from the 5 because then when they multiply, they'll make a 40 or a negative 40 and it's too big. So yes, so we're very smart. You're very smart to put the 8 where it's going to weaken the 8. So we want the 8 here and the 4 here. And so now our only job is to see if it works. Um, do you want to test it and tell me what you think? Do you know how to test it? Hmm?
Five, the five in the place, I put a five in.
Oh, you did a 5 and a 5? Yeah, that ain't gonna work, right? You put a 5M and a 5M. Right, that would give you 25M squared, right? So why don't you test this out and tell me, report back and tell me if you like it, okay? What else you guys need? LT, you need any help? No. You sure? Right then. Savannah, you good?
I thought it was like number two, worksheet one.
No, I mean everything is different. Like some problems, I see. Okay. Have you tried this yet? Do you know? Okay. Parker, you. So the new worksheet, problem 12? Sure. So worksheet number 2, problem number 12. What you don't know, Parker, is whether it's going to be a 9V and a 1V or a 3V and a 3V, right? Just so I can scroll away, I'm gonna move up, but report back to me when you get your results, okay? All right. So I assume, Parker, that you know the basics, that in this particular problem, the signs have to both be minuses. Okay. Because they're making a plus in the back and a minus in the middle. And because the number in back is a 20, I personally would go right away to 4 and 5. All right. And if I try a 4 and a 5, and I'm going to keep this in the back of my mind, I'm trying to make a minus 27 in the middle. So I'm going to just write that down. So that's my target, but I'm not going to focus on the target as much as I'm going to. You just got it? So 4 here, 5 here. I guess my work is done here. What were you failing to see there, Parker? Just like template to use? Yeah, and that's just something I can't help you with. That's just part of the learning is just trial and error. And all I can tell you is that after you do 50 of them or 40 or 78 of them, whatever, you just start to develop a sort of spidey sense for it. It just comes in time. And I'm going to scroll back up to yours. What have you discovered? It does work. So you're done with that problem. Yep. Good. What else would you guys like help with? Pause. Okay. So assignment 1,
Please, yeah.
problem number 1. So we have b squared
Mhm.
plus 3b minus 18. So what we're trying to do
Yes.
is build two things that look like this. First of all, those are our binomials that we're going to create. And your first job, I mean, a million, if there were such a thing as a million percent of the time, your first job is to focus only on the term in the front. All you want to do is say, what can I put in these two blanks that will make b squared? And the only way to do that is to put a b and a b.
Mm.
Are you with me?
Yep.
Okay. The second thing, and the order on this is, I have no words in the English language to describe how important it is that you do things in the right order. The next thing you have to do is look at the sign of the number in the back. Look at absolutely nothing else. The number in the middle could say plus a million, minus 57. I don't care. We look at the number in back, but not the number itself. I don't care what it is. I care that it's a negative. And the fact that it's a negative means that the two numbers that we put in these blanks are going to multiply by each other at some point, but we need them to make a negative. And if two numbers are going to multiply to make a negative, it literally has got to be a positive and a negative. Again, I cannot stress enough how important it is that that be the second thing that you do. Because as someone knows, if your signs aren't right, then you'll never find the answer.
This one's like number 5. The one that you're doing is like number 5.
So it's almost the exact same problem, except the one in the middle is a minus, huh? Or a plus or a minus, whatever. So the fact that it says negative, we've taken care of. Our objective now is to focus exclusively on how to make this red box number 18. And I don't have to say negative because I already took care of that by putting a positive and a negative. So now we go through all of our times tables and we say, okay, here are all the ways to make 18. 1 times 18, 2 times 9, and 3 times 6. That's every factor pair of 18. You're still up to speed? Now, your job is to just try things. And my advice is rather than making it a random guessing game, a generally good idea is to start with the two numbers that are going to be closer together. So like if you were doing 72, I would start with 9 times 8. Or if you were doing 45, I'd start with the 9 and the 5.
Yep.
So every number has a factor pair that's going to be closer together. Start there. It's not a guarantee. It's just you increase your odds. So I'm going to mess this up on purpose. Okay. I know what the answer is, but I'm going to do this wrong again on purpose so that we can learn. If I'm going to just try a 3 and a 6, and it's fine because like I already know that I've got a negative 18. So I don't have to worry about, this is important. I don't have to worry about, did I make b squared? Because of course I did. I put the b's there to make it. And I don't have to worry about, did I make negative 18? Of course I did. I controlled the numbers to make those things. Factoring is all about what was I not in control of? I wasn't in control of this times this plus this times this. The outer and inner combinations are the key. What's that?
It's FOIL.
FOIL, right? Yeah. So
First in, first out.
first, outer, inner, last, right? I generally don't talk too much about FOIL, but you're right. So what we do is we take those purple math problems and we multiply them. So the ones on the outside, if you take a positive b times a negative 6, you get negative 6b. And then the ones on the inside, if you take positive 3 times positive b, you get positive 3b. Then what you always have to do now to see if you guessed correctly is add those two purple numbers together. And a positive 3b and a negative 6b add to make negative
Minus.
3b.
Yep.
And then we look and say, is that what we wanted? And the answer is no. We wanted 3b, but the positive version, we got the negative version. So when that happens, it means you got lucky, but not fully lucky. It means that you picked everything correctly, but your signs have to switch.
Switch.
So don't move the B's or the 3's or the 6's. Just take your plus minus pair and switch them and make them a minus plus pair. And why that's powerful, because what it does is it changes the answers to these two multiplication problems. So like now the outside one makes positive 6b and the inside one makes negative 3b. And when you add them, you get plus, which is what you wanted. And so when that works, that's when you know you're done, because it equals what you started with. Okay. Let's pick another.
Number 6 on the first worksheet.
Okay. So again, worksheet 1. And Mrs. Wiles, is that one you haven't done also?
Okay, what was it? Assignment?
Worksheet 1, number 6.
Number 6.
Yeah.
I have done it. I mean, let me do another one.
Let's pick another one. Again, let's
That's-
focus and let's try to be as
Well,
efficient as we can.
Yeah, 12 did you do? I'm missing it. Did you do that one? That's kind of similar.
I haven't done that one.
Or any of these you could do.
Yeah.
You pick one.
Number
What was?
14.
Okay.
14.
What day?
So worksheet 1, problem number 14 says 7x squared minus 62 x's.
Oh, wait, on assignment 1?
Oh, darn it. I'm looking at the wrong
Sorry.
side.
No,
Okay,
yeah, no.
let's just assume that you guys are only going to ask questions on assignment.
Assignment 1,
I'm
yeah.
going to put
yeah.
assignment 2.
Confusing.
Oh, that's my bad. Assignment 1, number 14 is 5p squared. Sorry about that. Plus 2p minus 7. So first job is just to build empty shells. Just like right away, build the template. And this is a great problem because 5 is a prime number. And that's interesting. Right. So there's only one possible template. It has to be a 5p and a 1p. Because 5 is a prime, there's no other way to break it down.
But this, we're starting with 5p squared.
Mhm.
Because why?
Because step 1 is to make sure you build that term.
Okay.
Step 1 is to build that term.
Okay.
Nothing else matters. When we're doing step 1, everything I just scribbled out means zilch, nada, bupkis, nothing. Okay.
Okay.
So once we build that, step 2 now is to look at only the sign that I'm pointing at with the red arrow.
Plus 7.
Again, just like the one we just did. If the number in back is a negative, and right now you should not, one of the most common mistakes people make is they think, well, what about the 2p? And that's just like, it doesn't matter. It could be a little drawing of a house. It could be a picture of a puppy dog. It means nothing at this point in the process. The process right now is to make sure your signs are good, right? So we know that there's going to be a positive and a negative in the order that they're in, like we saw last time. It doesn't matter. It will change it if we have to. That's what erasers are for. Still with me?
Mhm.
Now is where the ending of the problem comes into play. We've taken care of the basics. We built the 5p squared. That's job 1. We built our signs correctly. That's job 2. Job 3 now is where we just roll up our sleeves and say, I'm going in. The good news about this problem is that the number in back, 7, is very, very prime, meaning there's only one pair. And so that means it's either going to be a 1 and a 7 or a 7 and a 1. There's no other way to make 7.
7.
Right. And again, the more practice you get, the more you should start seeing why what I just did is really not very smart. If I put the 7 way over there, That's pretty dumb because by pairing it, you see the pairing that exists is there. By putting the 7 way across from the 5, I forced it to multiply by the 5, giving me a 35 or a negative 35. Regardless, it's too much to get back to the target number in the middle. I didn't post to Canvas. Let me, as soon as I'm done with this problem, let me get it up there. I had it ready last night. I just didn't post it or publish it. I'll do it here in about a minute. You're welcome. Are y'all done? Holy smokes, son.
Mm.
Good job, Parker. So do you understand why I don't want the 7 way over there? It doesn't make sense. I want to put the 7 here where it weakens it because, and I'm telling you, these purple pairings are the key. If you don't understand the purples, then nothing makes sense. At the end of the day, the thing I have circled up here in yellow is easy. I controlled it. I'm going to cross it out because I already made it.
Okay.
And the thing I'm crossing out in red is easy because I already controlled it. So we write in numbers to control the beginning and the end. What we don't control is the middle. The middle happens when it's ready, and that's where the guessing and checking. There's a lot of erasing with these problems because sometimes it just doesn't work. So what do the 2 on the far outer reaches make when we multiply them?
Minus 35. Oh, no, the outside one. The outside.
Outside ones make
Minus-
-5.
I think it's something.
And the inside ones make
Positive 7.
correct. And when you add those together, the purple numbers, you get
Positive 2.
+2, which is what we wanted, which means we have achieved victory. So again, to stress this, you force the front, you force the back, and you just cross your fingers for the middle. And you keep erasing things until you get the middle.
Okay.
As long as you continue to control the yellow and the red,
Mhm.
that's the key. Control the yellow and the red and just hope for the purple.
Okay. Definitely clear. Okay. No, I could work on some of these now.
Yeah, I'm going to pause this real quick and post my Canvas for Parker since he needs those answers. Let's do this. First worksheet. Number 7.
It's B. Plus 17B minus 10.
So you have now stumbled on the most difficult type of problem.
Okay, that's what I had.
And the reason for that is because it could be. I have no idea because I was busy wasting time dealing with that. So let's try it out. We have 2 templates, 6V and a 1V. We also potentially could need to use the 3V and the 2V. Don't forget those multiple templates. So that's what makes this a hard level problem. That's fine, but understand that if you listen, you don't have to write this template down. But what I'm telling you is a lot of times kids will come up and say, like, I just can't find the combination. And I go, well, it's because you're neglecting that there's another entire open world of possibilities, right? So we can do this template if you want. I don't mind at all. Oh, yeah. Have you tried every combination of 5, 2, 2, 5, 10, 1, 1, 10?
Pretty much, right?
Yeah.
I mean. we didn't-
Okay, so if
yeah.
you've exhausted all options, then let's defer to the other template. That's how this goes, is that if one template, like if the horse you're riding on dies, you gotta go find a new horse, right? That's what this is all about.
Oh,
So,
man, that makes more sense. Okay.
so we do know that the signs are one of each, and now it's just a matter of trying every possible combo. 1, 10, 10, 1, 2, 5, 5, 2. You guys want to find it, or you want me to help you find it? 2 and 5? Okay, so you want me to put a 2 like here and a 5 here?
They would have to be opposite.
You want, okay, so you want, so when you said 2 and 5, you meant 5 and 2. Okay,
Yeah, probably.
so if we try this, we're interested in these purple things. We're interested in those, and we're interested in those. And the key here is to ask yourself, does this work? And again, I'm not interested in does 3v times 2v work? I mean, of course it works. We put it there. And does 5 times negative? Of course it works. I'm not interested in those. I keep using purple because I want to stress to you, it's all about the purple. The purple's what we did not control. We just guessed, and this will not work. In fact, it's a terrible failure. And that's what's great about factoring is who cares? No one cares, right? It just doesn't work because the two on the outside are going to make minus 6v and the two on the inside are going to make plus 10. And of course, negative 6 plus 10 equals 4. So it's okay. But that's the thing about factoring is that you're going to fail a lot. Let's try 10 and 1. I'm just along for the ride at this point in time. So let's try 10 and 1. Again, we keep controlling, making sure we keep making 10. That's the key. And then what will be, will be. And then the outside ones now make negative 3. B, the inside ones make plus 20. And when you add those together, you get
Oh,
17.
wow.
And there you go. So again, we control, cross our fingers. So,
That makes
need
sense.
some help?
Right?
I forgot.
That way.
I forgot this. Yeah, it's a.
I bet you fell asleep there for a second.
Mhm.
Are you on worksheet 2?
Tried to finish the first one, and two that I just couldn't figure out.
You want to go over those?
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it the worksheet, the second worksheet or the first?
She's on the first.
Okay.
So first worksheet, which problem? 12?
Well,
So as your teacher, when I go to write your quiz like over the weekend, because I'm gonna have to redo some stuff from last year, I'm gonna have like a note card that tells me how many of each type of problem I want. This would be one of my hard problems. Okay, so this will go under the hard category. And the reason is because of what we just went through. The problem with these is a lot of times people will jump in and try this and go, I'm frustrated because I can't find the right answer. And what the answer is, well, maybe if you tried all the possible numbers that make 27, it's because you failed to consider that there's another possible template, right?
So this one would be two negatives,
Never mind. I figured.
and would it be two negatives?
And you just said you just got it, right? Yeah. So the answer to this one is, and again, practice brings things like this to the surface. When you think about how am I going to make the number 27, the factors 3 and 9 come to mind quickly. But when I think about 3 and 9, and I hope what I'm about to say makes sense, by putting a 9 here, what I did is I strengthened it. I call it a power up. And I powered it up because I understand that at some point this purple multiplication problem is going to get checked. And if I buff it by putting the 9 across from the 4, I make it a 36. And 36 is a buff. And I say, why do I know I want a buff? Well, because you're trying to get to 39. And 39 is big, right? So by putting the 9 there, we're smart to give it a power up because negative 9 times 4 makes negative 36. And then I just put the other number here that has to multiply to make 27, which is of course 3. And then by putting it there, again, I've strengthened the 9 and kept the 3 weak, and the balance is just beautifully perfect. When you add those together, there's your negative 39. Is that making a little bit of sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Morgan, what was your other one?
Yeah.
Wait, there's. So 24 would also make the cut on my quiz as a hard problem. So every quiz will have like probably 2 easies, 2 mediums, 2 hards, and 2 differences of squares, or maybe 3 of each. But this would check off another hard one if I were writing a test. So, and the reason, which one is it? Thank you. The reason is so this is worksheet number 1, problem number 24. And the reason why this is hard is right away because of this. If it starts like this, then without even copying the rest of the problem, I already know that it could be 5 and 2, or it could be 10 and 1. Like this. And then the number in the back is a minus 24. And right here, I'm just going to write I don't care because at this point in the process, I really literally don't care. What's important to me is that I now have my template set up to make 10. And I need to now be cognizant of the fact that there's a negative on the 24. Therefore, I need one positive and one negative. The setup is complete. This is the part where I essentially turn the steering wheel over to you and I say, okay, what we need in the middle is negative 77. So off to what I like to do is off to the side is write a list of all of the numbers that could multiply to make 24. And that is a 1 and a 24, a 24 and a 1, a 2 and a 12, a 12 and a 2, a 3 and an 8, an 8 and a 3, and a 4 and a 6, and a 6 and a 4. So those are all the factor pairs.
Six and four?
I don't know. You're asking me like I don't know. I mean, I'll put whatever you want. I'm just a monkey with the pen at this point. My role has ended. So you tell me what numbers to put in and I'll put them in the exact order you tell me to. You tell me where to put them, I'm in. So let's go.
And four,
6 and 4, which template? You got to be specific.
the first one.
First template. So you want a 6 here and a 4 here. And the absolute worst possible thing that could happen is we miss it and we erase it and we try again, right? So who cares? So the 2 on the outside are going to make negative 20. The 2 on the inside are going to make 12. Negative 20 plus 12 is negative 8. We missed it by a nautical mile. And you know what? Nobody cares because that's just the deal, right? So you could, if you want to keep with 6 and 4, one thing I like to do is lay numbers to rest. So if I stay with 6 and 4, I feel like I'm committed to these guys now for about 2 minutes. And I say, okay, I tried 6 and 4. I'm going to switch them and try 4 and 6.
Four and four.
And again, it doesn't take long to figure out that it doesn't work. You want to be really, really quick with your purples. The purples are going to make negative 30 on the outside and 8 on the inside, and negative 30 plus 8 is negative 22. We missed it, but not by a nautical mile this time. It was closer. So I can say 4 and 6 will not work in the top template, but to be thorough and organized, I'm going to take the 4 and the 6 and try them in the bottom. There's some peace of mind with saying I've tried a pair of numbers everywhere. It's not 60. You're off by 120 if you say 60.
Negative.
Yeah, if there's one thing I've learned, and this is a lot about kids I don't understand. If there's one thing in 29 years that I've locked in on, it's that negative numbers are not to be skipped over. And again, you've had teachers in the past who, when you say 5, they just correct you and go, oh yeah, negative 5, and they move on. They should have been yelling at you from the age of 10. Negative 60 and 60 are like not even in the same playing field. Clear? So the outside ones make negative 60 and the inside ones make 4. And negative 60 plus 4 is negative 56. That was pretty close, but we're not playing horseshoes here, so no good. So you want to try switching them? Let's switch them. And at least this way here, we say we've done our due diligence. We've tried everything with 6 and 4. And as you can see, we're going to get negative 40 and 6, which make negative 34. We can now, bless you, we can now safely say that 6 and 4, you guys are dead to me. Right? Hold on just one second. I'm going to pause this, but I'll come right back.
Jaden and Derek Jordan.
So we all agree that 6 and 4 are completely dead, right? Okay. What do you want to try? Okay, could you be more specific, please?
First, what?
First template, 12 and 2, like this,
Go to class.
like this.
Yes. That's what.
Okay.
But what's your second half? It's history. Yeah.
What tape?
We got an evidence then.
I don't think so. You can look around over there, but yeah, let's finish. So this won't work. We agree? Won't work. Are you getting all this?
Yeah,
You feeling the vibe here?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 80%. Yeah. Okay, 12 and 2.
So 12 and 2 won't work because you get negative 10 plus 24. That doesn't work. So we could try switching them if you want. We could try the 12 over here and the 2 over here. And that's that's a good shot. It doesn't work, but it's a pretty dang good shot. The outside one gives you negative 60, and the inside one gives you 4, and negative 60 plus 4 is negative 50. So we can say 2 and 12 don't work on the top,
Good.
but then have you tried them already?
I mentally did it.
Okay. So, oh, you know what we did? We skipped over 3 and 8. Did we just skip right by 3 and 8?
I would jump in.
I have one, since we all have to move on with our day, that I think you should try. I'm not saying that this works. I'm just saying that there's a 99.99% chance that it will. Psh. Oi, hey, shh, don't come in here yelling, please.
Yeah.
Knock it off. That's the process.
Yay.
So some problems take long and some problems don't, but that's the idea. Got it?
Yeah.
So that's factoring 101
Thank you.
right there. You're welcome.
Like,
Welcome.